One of the worst mistakes you can ever make in growing your painting business. Hi, Lee Casano here from painting-business.com. When painting for residential customers and even some commercial jobs, it won't be long before you start getting callbacks and referrals. And if you aren't getting them, something may be seriously wrong. One thing that customers do is talk among themselves about you and your service, so be careful what they say or do, as in any bad work habits you may be repeating unintentionally business-wise. One thing many homeowners do is that they buy paint from home improvement centers and think nothing of the quality. I even had a customer who was a do-it-yourselfer, except on harder projects, and she would hire me. She and her husband painted their upper walls in their downstairs hallway, the upper half walls. And she asked me why the walls had streaks. I told her that she should have primed first using an enamel undercoat or primer. What I really should have said is, well, it's that crappy paint you're using. I use top-of-the-line paint from a real paint store called blah, blah, blah. This is also one bad habit for painters, using cheaper mid-grade paints from a paint store trying to save a buck. And home improvement centers is definitely a no-no. The naive customer, if they are going to do their own painting, usually use the do-it-yourself brands aimed at homeowners that are marked up higher than they're worth even, and think nothing of it. But if you show up at their homes with this type of paint, they will frown, and they will talk among themselves about what you paint with. I know I used to make this mistake using mid-grade coatings from the paint store. One homeowner specifically warned me not to use anything but this one well-known name brand. See, they expected the best from their painters since they are paying him well for it. Another homeowner had me and another painter give her an estimate at the same time. I could tell that the homeowner really wanted to go with me and asked me what paint I would use, while the other painter told her what brand they would use, which was viewed as a high-quality paint when all it was fancy marketing with a pretty label. You see, I got on this cheaper mid-grade paint kick from seeing what other painters left behind from previous years. Many of those coatings were solvent-based back then. I don't use mid-grades anymore just to save a few bucks, and definitely don't go to home improvement stores unless it's for a universal primer or a popular deck stain that paint stores cannot afford to carry anymore due to too much competition for that particular product. I have found over time that usually the cheaper, less known paint brands actually create more work for you trying to get the job to look right. You have to fight with lap lines and streaks, especially on tall walls and even ceilings. You wind up doing 3 or more coats, and it still doesn't look good. Even though the customer is paying for the paint in the estimate, it usually costs you more in labor and makes your work not look as good. Plus, you may lose callbacks and referrals. Again, using cheaper grades or do-it-yourself paints will cost you more in the long run. They usually don't save you money. If you use the best quality paint, your work should only take 2 solid coats and look really good as well. The paint and the tools you use are what makes your painting business shine. I use the best quality brushes. It makes painting easier, the best roller covers that are shed resistant, and the finest paint brand that hopefully is worth its painter's discount price, or find one that is. Are there exceptions when you can use mid or commercial grade coatings? Yes, it's usually a commercial job that is rental properties, or a business where nobody cares and what you use, and you have a paint that does perform well without extra effort, and the price is good too. I probably use a primer coat first though, and finish with the paint coat for extra durability. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Make hundreds daily in your own profitable painting business. Plus, get my free report today. Visit painting-business.com.